Hey, what's up everyone, it's KiDarknessDragon with my third battle of NPA Season 2 against the Seattle Seakings, against Joedor, a great friend of mine. So what happened was, we had some technical issues filming this, and I had to redo the whole thing, and I have to kind of put it up in a rush, because I'm kind of late here, so no webcam, but let's just get right into this battle. So, I was pretty afraid he was going to bring the Haxorus here. And so I thought it would be best to lead with my Milotic just in case he led with it. I was fairly confident Milotic was going to be one of the biggest threats to his team. And surprise, he does actually lead with his shiny Haxorus here, which looks awesome. Grim, great name by the way. So I was predicting the switch here. Like a Scald would have been good, but Ice Beam into whatever I thought was probably the best move. So he actually goes for Ferroseed. I think he says it's a predictable switch, but I wasn't predicting Ferroseed or something. I just wanted to get something out there, but I get the freeze hacks right off the bat, and I felt really bad for him, so you know, but you know, what can you do? That's the game we play. There are hacks involved from time to time, and you know, so I get the Ice Beam off, and I'm like, you know, I should probably swap out. I don't know if he's gonna sack this thing off or not, but I just go into Cobalion. I probably could have gone into Simisear for a flamethrower or something, but I wasn't sure if I would one-hit KO it. So I just wanted to get Stealth Rocks up at least. So he's still frozen for like, what, 4 turns at least? I don't even know how many it's been, but I just went with a Sacred Sword here to try to get rid of this thing, but that wasn't quite enough to KO it, and I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can Volt Switch out here and do some damage, but he finally thaws out at like, what, turn 5 or something? I don't even know. Gets to Protect off, and I reveal Volt Switch, so at this point, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to sack this thing off, especially with rocks on the field, even though it resists it. And I just went for Iron Head just in case, you know, whatever he was gonna go to. I don't think it would have made sense to put it in Clefable, so I'm not quite sure I went for that. But anyways, down goes Ferroseed, and he brings Grim out again, and I'm thinking, alright, I have no idea if this thing has Scarf or not. I know it has Mold Breaker, and boom, he actually gets the EQ off, so I was actually kind of upset. I'm like, alright, well, down goes my Cobalion, which is probably one of my biggest offensive threats against this team, because I am very worried about that Clefable. And, alright, I'm like, oh, okay, he's probably Scarfed and locked into EQ, and I'm like, oh, I'll send Wheezing, and I'm like, wait. Afterwards, I'm like, oh, Mold Breaker's a thing, so my Levitate means nothing to him. So, you know, I'm like, whatever, maybe I'll get a Toxic off, I'm pretty sure I'll survive the EQ, and luckily I do. And at this point, I'm like, alright, he's probably just going to EQ again. So it wouldn't really make sense to me to sack off Wheezing that early. I have, like, some use for him still, so I switch into Paper Cut here, which is my Sceptile, because I'm like, alright, I'm pretty sure I can resist an EQ. That's probably the mon I have left that can take an EQ decently well. And, you know, the Toxic is slowly ticking away. And I'm sure he didn't really want to deal with me Mega and going for the Dragon Pulse, and he actually switches into Mama Cass's Clefable, and this thing is a pain in my rear to fight, because it's just probably a huge counter to my team. It's super bulky, takes like everything I have to throw at it, and he made the right call there, predicting the Dragon Pulse. I was thinking possibly going with Giga Drain, but I went with Dragon Pulse for the safe play, just in case he wanted to sack off Haxorus for whatever reason. So, I was predicting the Moonblast, and I definitely did not want Sceptile in there taking a Moonblast from a Clefable, no matter how, you know, strong this thing is. So, I switched into Wheezing, thinking, alright, even if it gets killed here, I can do something. He actually swaps out into Colgate, which is his Gengar. And what I went for here was just, I believe, the Pain Split, because I wanted to get a bit more healthy here, because I did not want to deal with just letting Wheezing go down with like low health. And I think here he was predicting a switch into Spiritomb or something, and I thinking that might have been a good play, but here I just went for a straight up another Plane Split. So, you know, that's not going to do too much to Rotom, because it's not like super high health compared to my Wheezing at this point. So here that happens. So I see that it has the lefties, and I think during the battle when I filmed it, I didn't notice that at first. and I thought he was scarfed because he's just so fast, but not that Weezing's super fast. But anyways, he gets the overheat off, and, you know, of course, he gets the special attack drop, and I just go for the straight Sludge Bomb, like, thinking that'll do something. It doesn't do it as much as I thought it would, but I actually get the poison off, so that's super surprising. I'm just, like, getting a whole bunch of hacks this round. At this point, you know, I've frozen his friggin' Feral Seed first turn. I get a poison off on a Rotom, and, you know, I'm like, he's gonna probably go for another overheat. I mean, it's got toxic damage, so back into my low deck I go, because, you know, now that he's into overheat, I'll take anything. I think at this point I thought it was scarfed, but I should have really noticed the lefties here. So, you know, he's got 2 special attack drops on him. He's low health, he's got the toxic, so I'm thinking, alright, is he gonna leave this thing in, or what? I think I just go straight for the... What do I go for here? I think I go for the Ice Beam. But he does get the Volt Switch off. Doesn't do as much as I thought. I was going to do way more. And he actually swaps out this Rotom, which I was surprised to see, but out comes Mega Man, his friggin' Mega Manectric. Oh, actually, no, here I go for the Scald. So I'm like, alright, maybe I'll get super lucky, I'll get a burn off, right? How ridiculous would that be? But I get a decent amount of damage done, and I'm thinking, alright, this guy, he's either gonna Thunderbolt, or is he gonna make the switch? He's gonna make the correct call and like go for like an HP Ice or something and just take down my Sceptile. I took that risk going to Sceptile here, and let's see here. That Mega's so cool looking. He actually does get the prediction here. I'm pretty sure he just destroyed me with that prediction, because up until this point, the match was in my favor, because if I took down that Manectric, it would have been pretty good looking for me, but down goes my Mega Sceptile, who has not done so well. I haven't made the best decisions throughout my 3 matches so far, but you know, I go into my Sinister, and he goes in a Rotom Mixtape. I had no idea what he was going to switch into. I was thinking just like straight up a Flamethrower would have worked on anything, but I actually revealed that I have Rock Tomb here. It didn't really matter. I'm pretty sure that Rotom was going to go down regardless, but I was just like, Rock Tomb could do a decent amount of damage to anything he has. So out comes this annoying Haxorus again. I'm just like, this thing with its Mold Breaker, and I'm pretty sure it's Scarfed at this point. I'm like, I don't want to do a Rock Tomb to that. It's not going to do anything. So at this point, I just decide to sack off Weezing here. And Outrage is going to be way more than enough to take down our poor Weezing. Weezing did his job with the Pain Split and the Toxic and all that. So good job by Weezing. And you know, I still see this Haxorus, even though it's poisoned and it has a bit of a timer on it. It's locked into Outrage, but it's still going to be a terrifying thing to go in against. I thought my low deck would, you know, take an Outrage pretty well, and it actually takes us down to like 40% health, which is a bit lower than I'd like. I just go straight up for the Ice Beam, and I think once it, you know, it was confused and it's poisoned, I think Joe decided just to sack this thing off, and I don't think he was too unhappy, because Haxorus did his job, taking down Cobalion, taking down Weezing, and just providing like an overall terrifying thing to go against. So out comes Mega Man again, his Mega Manectric, and I'm like, okay, do I really want to sack off my low deck at this point? It's still like my tankiest thing. You know, the Intimidate goes off, our competitive rises, but that doesn't really matter at this point. We don't really serve much of a threat to this thing, because it's going to outspeed us. Here, I don't think this was the right play. Switching into Simisear, I probably should have switched into something else to let it come out with its choice and just take it down, but the Thunderbolt is more than enough to take us down, because we're running a mixed set, so it doesn't have any points in the special defense. So out comes Spiritomb, and I'm thinking, alright, maybe I'll just go for the Foul Play, but he actually swaps out. I thought it could probably outspeed me and take me down, but he wasn't willing to take that risk. Takes out Clefable again, and it's gonna wall us hard. At this point, we have Spiritomb, Milotic, and it's just pretty much over at this point. I mean, I can't do anything to this. I'm convinced this thing has a Magic Guard on it, so even if we got like a burn off or something, it's not gonna do anything. So I'm like, alright, whatever. We'll just send out Milotic here. And he's just gonna start moonblasting away, like trying to take us down. And here I was just kind of being silly, to be perfectly honest. Like, I kind of knew the match was over. Not that it is over, but it's not looking good. In my head, I'm like, alright, what can I actually do to this team? Like, Milotic's not going to do anything at all to Clefable. It walls us out completely. Spiritomb, it can take a Moonblast to the face. But, you know, he just goes for the smart play here, getting the T-Wave off. And I think here's where he just starts setting up the, probably Calm Mind, I'm thinking, because he has got, what, Moonblast, here you go, here's the Calm Mind. So Moonblast, Calm Mind, Thunder Wave, and I'm not quite sure what the last move he carries, probably something like Aromatherapy? No, I don't know. But anyways, I just keep going for like the Scald. Magically, even if I magically got a burn there, it wouldn't have mattered. And, yeah, it's not looking good, but overall, there's like, let me look at my game really quick. There's about 6 turns left on this match, and he's just starting to set up a Calm Mind. I'm like, what am I even doing here? Like, I misclicked here. I didn't actually mean to click Dragon Tail. I gotta stop misclicking on things. But the Scald was right above Dragon Tail. Like, I know it's a fairy type. I know Dragon types don't work on fairy types, but Dragon type moves don't work on fairy types. But apparently, I like to misclick. But you know, even if I did get the Dragon Tail, it's kind of a moot point. Like, he would just switch back into it. It walls me out like completely. So, yeah, you know. Overall, I think this week I made some decent plays. Definitely the HP Ice prediction from Joe, from when I swapped into Mega Sceptile, that was probably my undoing here. I mean, freeze hacks aside, I think I made some decent plays, but you know, I just gotta learn to continue to do better here. Probably, I mean, that was probably a very predictable switch, but I was banking on the chance that he was like, that's too predictable, like, would he actually go for it? But, I don't think I ran the calculations, but even if he, like, just went for the Thunderbolt, I think my loading would have went down, so either way, he kind of had me in a tough spot. But, you know, overall, I think I did well. And, you know, you're just seeing a bunch of recovers from me, and he's just like, alright, what is he doing? He's just gonna Moonblast me after setting up some Calm Minds. He gets a crit. I mean, finally he gets something working for his side. I felt bad with the hacks. Like, if I wanted to do the hacks, like, obviously I would take it, but, like, I would feel bad, because that Pharaoh Seed loss for him hurt really early on. Because that thing was gonna be a beast. You know, so at this point, I just, like, you know, he outspeeds me, there's no point in keeping recovering, so he finally takes down Senpai, the Milotic, with the Moonblast, and I'm down to my last Poke with, Spiritomb here. And yeah, there is no way Spiritomb can take on a Moonblast from a Clefable that has like 3 Calm Minds on it. And yeah, just watch this. It's just like, it looks terrifying. Just boom! Super effective. But yeah, overall great match by Joe. I mean, he made the amazing prediction with that Mega Man Electric play. Overall, the thing I was definitely most scared of this week was the Hacksters coming out, and possibly the Delayed, because that would have been really problematic for my team, and that's why I kind of ran as like the same set as I did last week against the Boston Celebies. Terrakion, on, like, you know, retrospect, I think would have been a much better mon to bring instead of Cobalion, or even I could have brought both Cobalion and Terrakion, maybe swap out Spiritomb here, because I should have known Clefable was like gonna be brought for sure. But overall, I think I had fun. A lot of great plays from my side and his side, and hopefully I just keep on doing better. And yeah, next week we take on the Los Angeles Landorus, coached by Jerry Oak, who is honestly another terrifying battler I'm scared to go against, but hopefully, you know, my LA team will be the one to take him down. But until next time, peace.